going on, guys? Back at you again, and we gonna get right into part 2 of this. It might have to be 3 parts just because of how long it is and how much explaining needs to happen. And I just need you guys to see what's going on here and let it crystallize in your head. Just realize that these people are all actors. Doesn't matter if they're playing football, basketball, skating, shot put, rapping. I don't care what it is. They're all acting, and the actors are triple acting. So it just never stops, and it's all just to shape certain communities. In this instance, the black community mainly. And let's take a listen.
A really good friend. But she's still my mother. I mean, I still, like last night I came over to
your mother's your friend. Okay.
Can't come home that late anymore. And I was like, it's the weekend. We had an argument about that. But also it's things that, like, I mean, we talk about things. Do you think you should be punished? And I explain it to her. And I really get to talk.
I think we mentioned something about this. This is ridiculous. I would never have any say in any punishment if I got in trouble as a kid. So right there, you're hearing he wasn't raised.
To her. So she's my guide through life.
How is that a guide? A guide is something that tells you what to do. You don't ask a guide what to do. Like, no, he's wrong. Sorry.
I'm enjoying myself, but it's just that everybody doesn't think like us. So society, I mean, poverty it's no joke. Being poor and having this philosophy.
You seeing how he's saying that? He's saying that with a straight face because he wasn't poor. He didn't live that life. He didn't know nothing about poverty. He's in a performing arts school. His mother was a Black Panther. They were well off. They weren't these poor ass people that he raps himself out to be. That's not what happened at all. Lying about his dad being dead when he's alive still.
It's worse because, if money was nothing, if there was no money and everything depended on your moral standards and the way that you behaved and the way that you treated people, we'd be millionaires. We'd be rich.
No, we wouldn't, because of guys like you. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what world he's living in, but no, he is completely wrong because of dudes like him, especially now, black people are way out of order. Well, actually, you know what? Back then, the further back we go, black people are actually better. The closer we go to the 50s, between the 50s and like the 80s, I'd say the black community was at its best. And then as we get closer to modern times, dwindles, gets worse and worse because of the growth of hip-hop and other entities that are set up to destroy our community and beyond.
Since it's not like that, then we're stone broke. We're just poor because our ideals always get in the way. Since we're not yup people, and we're always, wait a minute, let me think about that, then people tend to go, nope, I guess I don't want you for the job, and I guess you just won't,
That's not what happens.
So that's the only thing that I'm bitter about.
He's wrong. He's projecting here, guys. He's the type of person that thinks through shit. Most black people aren't like him like this. Most of this interview is just him projecting how he is and saying that's what black people are. But no, not at all. Sorry.
It's growing up poor because I missed out on a lot of things.
You didn't grow up poor.
I missed out on a lot of things. And
stop the cap.
I can't always have what I want or even things that I think I need. So I missed a lot of things like that. But I know rich people.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me one. All right, we back at it again.
Or people just well off who are lost.
Stop the cap.
Or lost. So I feel like my mother made a lot of decisions in her life, and that's what we always say. She could have chose to go to college and got a degree in something, and right now been
she couldn't have chose that because she had you. Back in the 80s, if you have a baby or whatever it was, the 70s, 80s, once you do that, your life is over back then. You can't go to school.
She chose to analyze society and fight.
No, she chose to be a mother and had to do that to make ends meet. Come on, Tupac. Let's call it what it is.
And so this is the payoff. And she always tells me that the payoff to her is that me and my sister grew up good and we have good minds and everything. And
grew up well.
We're ready for society. But
okay. So good minds and ready for society. Is that what this screams out? Well, this one was over. Let's talk about this interview. And this is the same guy. This is just a few years later.
You know what I'm saying? It's that situation when you got we are living in a war zone. It's
Who
not
is?
as
He
easy
isn't.
as these people are making us think.
He's
That we just
not.
got some criminal ass black kids with guns. It is not like that. We live in hell. We live in the gutter. We got us stacked up 80 deep in one building.
He's projecting. He's just talking like he lived that type of life. He never lived that type of life. He's just describing what he's seen when he goes to the hood with his new gangster friends. But he never actually experienced any of this.
You know, by the time you get out your house, you strapped to protect yourself because you living in the same.
So this is the same guy over here, but he's younger here and didn't have any of these ideals or that type of temperament or the way he
We didn't have
talks.
the things like that. So that's the only bad thing I think is poverty. If I hated anything, it'd be that.
What do you think is one of the most important things?
This man is talking about, I hate poverty, I hate world hunger, and then now we go to this.
Community that the police is carrying rifles and riot gear. Same, they need them riot. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. The same reasons they need the riot hat, the riot jacket, the flak jacket, the double vest, the 9mm Glocks with extra bullets, the tear gas, the mace, all that. Who do you think the police is using that against? Dogs? So we fighting the same villains that they fighting in the street.
They're using that against a threat. That's it, period. If you're acting a fool, yeah, they're going to have to use deadly threat or deadly force. Am I saying one-off situations don't happen where police abuse power? Of course that shit happens, yes. But it's not like how people are describing it.
But instead of them seeing us fighting villains in the street, we all villains.
Is your generation the one that is picking up?
Now, see right there, that's more projection. We all villains. Just putting that in the air. So now the younger black kids that hear that are just going to think, oh, I'm a villain? Okay, so I'll just be bad anyway. That's all he's doing. He's making it okay to act like a freaking moron.
Where the Panthers left off saying, all right, enough is enough. The generation before us forgot about the fight. We're picking it back up.
Not only forgot about the fight, forgot about us. Yes, and we're picking it back up. But at this level, all we're trying to do is unite. And right now, as a year, we got 1 million people that's listening. Now we can tell them something. Now we can try to get them that way. And we might lose some. We might gain some. But we would never even have that audience had we not said what was real. You know what I'm saying? And the main thing for us to remember is that the same crime element that white people are scared of, black people are scared of. The same crime element that white people fear, we fear. So we defend ourselves from the same crime element that they scared of. You know what I'm saying? While they waiting for legislation to pass and everything, we next door to the killer. We next door to him, you know, because we up in the projects where it's 80 in a building. All them killers that they letting out, they right there in that building.
That's true, because killers, when they get out of jail, they don't have any money. They can't even get a job. So where are they going to go? They're going to go to a shit neighborhood, most likely. And where are shit neighborhoods? In the hood.
Just because we black, we get along with the killers or something? We get along with the rapists because we black and we from the same hood?
No, that's not what it is. It's for the reasons I just said. Now he's trying to conflate. They don't put those guys there on purpose. That's just the way it is, because once you get out of jail for doing heinous crimes, you have no opportunity to make money unless you had money before. So you're basically starting off almost as a teenager, but not being able to get any jobs because you have a record. So it's basically like being 16 again and coming out into the world trying to find a job. No one's trying to hire no 16-year-old to do no serious work. It's the same idea.
What is that? We need protection too.
Finally, I want to ask
you. Yeah, but we need protection from ourselves.
My mother taught me 3 things.
He had to look up. What did she teach me? Respect.
Knowledge. Search for knowledge. It's an eternal.
Respect. Knowledge.
That's like my hand cut the line.
Respect, knowledge, and what else?
Knowledge, always. And she taught me to not be quiet.
Yeah. So he's not respectful, and yeah, he's definitely not quiet at all.
About something that someone else asked you in the interview, and I thought the answer was interesting because I think it speaks to you and your generation a lot. Someone said, where do you see Tupac 10 years from now? He said, hey,
he ain't gonna be around. Let's see. Look at his face.
He said, hey, I just.
You saw him blink? He's like, because he knows his demise is coming up in the next couple of years, or his supposed demise. He blinks, And he's like, yeah, I ain't gonna be here. But he can't say it. But then he says, I'm happy to be alive. Because he already knew. The only way that you're gonna know that you're gonna die is if they told you. And you know it's an act that you have to play. Same thing with Biggie and all these other rappers that knew they were gonna die. How did you know? Because they told you. You have to fake die.
That's so real. I made a metamorphosis. I'm a new person today. Because I used to strongly and honestly, I feel like I could represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died.
He did represent the generation. That's the problem here. And that, what he said at the end, not caring if you lived or died, that's another problem, living like that. Why the fuck are you living like that? Now other people will adopt that type of thinking. And they do. We see it all the time. The suicide bomber type thinking. It's ridiculously stupid.
If there's something in my mind, speak it. That's what God, that was the breath. She always talked
about. You see what I mean, guys? Where does this come from? Like, how does he go from this to that? It makes no sense.
Listen, and she told me this little joke that God gave you 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak.
Yeah.
2 ears and 1 mouth. Common sense. 1 mouth. You should speak, but you should also listen. And that's where the knowledge comes from, listening.
No, it means you should listen more than you speak. That's what the phrase means. He's not even quoting that properly.
And once you get the knowledge, then you can speak. And it helps you. So she taught me.
Which is why you should listen more than you speak, so you can get the knowledge to speak.
Knowledge and understanding, mostly. Just listen about it.
Do you think more parents should...
But he also said it wrong. You have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Because you need to hear and see what you're doing before you can do it and say it, right?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. But not being a yup parent, like yup people, just not being, oh yes dear, I understand, yes you can go to the party. That doesn't help. Those produce even worse kids.
No, that's not true.
Ambitious.
That's not true. I mean, if you do it all the time, yes, but there's a time and place, like it says in the Bible, for everything. There's a time to say yes dear, and there's a time to give tough love. You have to know when to do that. It's not every time for anything, because then you're not going to be well-rounded in either direction if you do too much of either of what he said.
But unready children, and those are the
unready children. Isn't he one of those? When you think about it, he came from a single-parent home, went to jail a bunch of times, right? Bunch of crimes he got away with that most black guys wouldn't.
So.
But I guess that hadn't happened yet. That's all going to start happening because he's still 17 in this. But you get my drift.
But analyze what they're saying. Just don't push them through the path and don't hold them from going to the path, but help them through the path. That's what I think should happen.
All right, let's listen to some more of this. So he's so nice and so concise, right? Such a good boy, and then we come here.
But now I cannot die with people thinking I'm a rapist or a criminal. I can't leave until this is straight. I'm not suicidal.
So in other words, he's gonna wait until his name is cleared and then die. And that's what happened, guys, literally. It's so crazy.
I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see,
See? Guys, he knew, and he's laughing about it. Why? Because he knows it's a fake death. He's just somewhere just chilling amongst us or on an island, guys. Like, let's be honest.
I didn't fall, but that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like.
He cursed you? That's the devil.
And be happy here. He wouldn't let me feel so oppressed. He wouldn't let me feel so trampled on. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me think the things I think.
So, well, that's because you're thinking the ways you think. You're not letting God do your thinking. You're not following God's words. So don't talk about God like you actually care about God and you study the Bible. You don't. Because anyone that studies the Bible knows that you shouldn't be thinking for yourself like that because our minds drift off. Our minds are unpure. We're not perfect people. But if we follow the word of God like he says, like he speaks about, you wouldn't even been a rapper. You wouldn't have been talking like this. You wouldn't have been doing basically 80% of the stuff that you've been doing or accused of. It's just like you can't act like you're this godly person. Oh, God means this to me, God means that, but then you're acting like Satan, spitting on people, destroying people's shit, foul mouth, just yelling, screaming, acting out of order. And it's just, now it's like a split personality because you're flamboyant on this side. So what's going on here?
I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying?
He's not doing God's work, guys. Anyone that acts in this manner and has two split personalities, another thing the Bible talks about, not having split personalities, he's literally the epitome of what Satan teaches. Literally, he's the antithesis of that. He is anti-God, honestly.
And just because I don't have,
But he'll say this shit so people think, oh, this is godly. So now people think they're doing God's work when they're doing the bullshit he's doing. When really you're just destroying the planet.
around for people to put money in the bucket don't mean I ain't doing God's work. I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying?
I can feel like I'm a billionaire. It doesn't mean that it's true. You feel like you're doing God's work. It doesn't matter what you feel like. Go study the Bible and you'll know right from reading the Bible if you're doing His work. And you'll know that you're not. Because none of this shit that is in the Bible, you do. Everything that it tells you not to do in the Bible, you do. So what is so godly about that? Because we can Bible thump over here. Because I know the Bible. We can do that. But to claim that you're a godly man, but you act in this manner, I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. I make mistakes like the next man, but I know that God is my compass. You know, I know that I have control over nothing. Anything good that comes in my life is because of God. And if I fuck up, it's because I'm not following the word. I'm slipping up and I'm following the path of Satan. And that's just as simple as it gets.
These ghetto kids ain't God's children. And I don't see no missionaries coming through there.
See, that's the problem. He keep doing this God talk. God's people are anybody that follows His word and loves Him and is or wants to get baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. So all this shit he's talking is bullshit. God don't care if you're black, white, purple, orange. It don't matter. He just wants your commitment. That's it. Something that Tupac is not giving, but he's pretending to.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing God's work. While
No, you're
Reverend
not.
Jackson do his up in the middle class, and you go to the White House and have dinner and pray over the president. I'm up in the hood, you know what I'm saying, doing my work with my folks. And just because I don't live there don't mean I don't go there. I got to go there because I can't hang nowhere else.
You can't go there. I mean, you don't have to go there, and yeah, you can't go anywhere. It's because of the way you act and the persona that you have to push. And see, he just admitted there he's not from the hood, but he has to keep going there. Why? To push a persona, to push this double fake life. That's why.
What would a Vietnam vet be like without a sergeant, without any backup, without any other soldiers?
We saw this.
Out on, you know?
This part, I want to move up.
I haven't had a father when you talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we saw that part.
Do you lament on and look back and say, damn, I missed something big?
Everything. I know for a fact that had I had a father, had I had someone, and I hate saying this because white people love hearing black people talk about this, but
I mean, that's not true. I mean, shitty people, not even white people, shitty people like hearing about other people's struggles so they can feel better about themselves. But there are some good white people out there, man. Like, cause I know them. I'm friends with a lot of them. Like, basically my whole goddamn football team. Like, so I'm not gonna let him say some shit like that. That's not true. There are a lot of white people that care. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be cool with the bullshit. What he's talking about are ancestors and people from back then. I mean, there's obviously still racism, but it's not as rampant as it was.
had a father, had I had some of these opportunities, I'd have been able to help my mother more. She wouldn't have went the road she went. I could have been a better son.
And that's what I said. His mother did what she did because she needed to make ends meet. You know, she had a kid early. That's what it was. I told you guys. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm saying she wouldn't have went that road. It was the absence of my father.
It's fear, scarcity, and lack she made her decisions out of. And that's what happens.
You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with him being daddy not being there. My mother's dealing with him being my man not being there. You know, so many problems in our community.
But he was there the whole time.
Affect everything. So by me not having that, I ain't never want to hear nothing about no kind of relationships between a black man and a black woman. I knew they didn't work. Because as far as I knew, my daddy was the coolest dude out there. And my mama was a Panther. So if they didn't work, it don't work. That's how I felt.
Well, I mean, I can see why he would say that, but that's just more projecting. Oh, because my mommy and daddy were this, that means for everyone else it's the same. Like, no, like I can understand why you're saying that, but that's not what it is. Your mom and your dad is not the end all be all. Like, it just didn't work for them. Your mom was smoking crack. Your dad was a drug dealer. So yeah, that's why it didn't work. It wasn't because they were two black people, because there are plenty of black people. I forget what the percentage was. I think up until like, what was it, the 90s, black people were married at an 80 something percent rate. So like, I don't, like together, I'm saying. So that's just bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? And going out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like watching my mother just go through changes and everything. It's like my mother's my partner. She a soldier. You know, she a soldier like I'm a soldier. You know, and I
And that's the
watched her
problem.
keep the game.
A mother shouldn't be a goddamn soldier. Like, where's the softness? Where's the nurturing? And like everything is flip flopped. And doing that is against God's word. God doesn't want women acting like men. God doesn't want men acting like women. That's an abomination. So literally everything he's talking is bullshit.
She went through. If I
Now let's go back to this side.
Well, how do you think you're most like your mom?
I'm most like my mom because
Oh, God.
I'm arrogant. Totally arrogant.
That's not good to be arrogant as a man. As a woman, you can be arrogant because life is different for you. You live a life on easy mode. But as a man, if you're arrogant, like, that is not going to play well for you ever.
I agree. I have to say it. Like at work, I can't hold a job. I just quit my job today, actually, because I wanted to come and do this. And they wouldn't let me. And I felt like it was important, and it was more important than serving pizza. And we had enough people, so I felt like since I'm an actor, they should understand. They should have let me do it. But
So that's just entitlement, guys.
they didn't. And then I had a cold. So they were making me work in a freezer. And I'm really not one to be...
They were making me work in the freezer. It's called work, bro. See, you could tell he was raised by a woman. Like, that's something a woman would say. Who gives a fuck? You're at work, bro. If you had a father, you wouldn't be holding your hand on your chest like this, talking so gay and flamboyant, right? You wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be talking about, they have me in the freezer because it's so cold. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, guys?
Be disrespected, and I felt like that was disrespectful because I asked to go, you know. So I quit, and he told me I couldn't quit.
Like a little bitch.
And that even made me hyper. I'm arrogant. So when he told me I couldn't quit, and we had all these customers, I chose that time to jump on a soapbox, grab my leather jacket, light a cigarette in front of him, smoke, and leave in the middle of a rush.
And is that a civilized person that knows how to act in society? You know what I mean? So I guess he's showing flashes that he could be a douchebag. He's not full-blown douchebag yet until he hits, you know what I mean, a few years later. But he's showing flashes by saying that. Like, you already screwed the guy. You quit in the middle of a rush, which is scummy. You could have at least just finished the day off or just tell him beforehand before you even did that. And now that you've already screwed him over, now you're gonna disrespect and smoke a cigarette in his face. Like, come on, bro. Like, everything is just, it's emotional. It's just, you're doing it to get a feeling and a rise. That's not what men should be doing. In other words, you shouldn't be following somebody like this.
That was natural. That's arrogance at the top. That's something that looks like my mother, and she likes it. She'll see it in me and know it. And we clash a lot because I'm arrogant, she's arrogant, and you should see us when we get out of the attitude.
No, trust me, I don't want to
It's
see it. It'll be like two women arguing. I already can tell.
Husband and wife. Or
See?
brother and sister.
That's even worse. You want to be like husband and wife with your mother?
But it's father.
Bro,
mother.
this is not
It's
healthy.
father,
What
mother.
we're hearing, guys, is not healthy. He does not have a healthy relationship with his mother at all. Sorry.
And son, she's my father and mother.
No,
So,
no.
yeah.
She's your mother. Your father is out there somewhere. All right, let's not do that. Black women, well, single women like to say, "I'm your mother and your father." No, you're not. You're just my mother, and that's it. You could never be my father because women can't raise men. They can raise you as a boy, but as a man, a young man, you need your father around, or else the stats show it. You end up in jail. You end up dead or in an institution 90% of the time. And if you don't, you beat the odds. That's all that is. It's not, oh, I'm special. Well, you kind of are by beating the odds, but that's all it is.
We getting out tips and everything. But it's good.
That's a great story.
The story. Oh my God, that laugh, guys.
It was me.
That laugh. Is that a gangster? What gangster laughs like that?
How much you like her? How are you most unlike her?
I'm most unlike my mother because Crazy question.
You should be able to list a bunch of things. You should be like, well, I'm masculine, I'm strong, You should be able to list things right away. Like, if you can't say how you're different from your mom, you're just a weirdo as a man. I'm sorry.
Well, since my mother went through the 60s and everything, she's more of a let me think about this first, then do it, because I know about
We know you just do shit. You don't
and
think.
I'm more like if you get me hyped, I'm a dangerous weapon.
That's not a flex. He's saying it like it's a flex, guys. Like, that is just not good. So in other words, you're very emotional and you can't control yourself, is what he's saying. And that's literally the epitome of a lot of black boys that come from single homes. Right there. He's saying it. That's the poster child.
If I'm hyper,
it's not good.
I mean, even for not like
that's not good.
Like, but if I'm hyper to run basketball and I have to go to work, I'll be there late. If I'm hyper,
so that's not what a man does. A man does what needs to be done, no matter how he's feeling. So that's what I mean. You don't want to follow someone like this. You want to follow someone that handles their business no matter fucking what. Oh, I got work at 3. I'm playing ball. Oh, it's 2:30. I gotta go. It's not. Oh, I'm gonna keep playing this meaningless game and then I'm gonna show up late and potentially lose my job. Like, no, bro. That's not what you do.
Something I can't concentrate, and my mother can really concentrate. And like in school, as much as I talk about needing education and everything, I goof in school every year. It's just I can't help.
See, guys, not someone you want to follow at all. Why are you goofing in school? You're talking all this shit about how, all these disadvantages, all these bad things, but you're not making the most of your education. You're goofing around. So how can you complain? You're not even making the most of your opportunities. And that's what happens. A lot of black kids don't. They goof off. And then they want to blame everyone else instead of turning their thumb towards themselves.
Popularity, and I like being around people, and I just like talking and everything. My mother's more of a
that's not manly either. Talking too much. Shut your mouth.
So that's what we're not alike, and I trust people more, and I'm more open.
That's a female trait.
She's more weary of trusting people, but she does trust people. But I'm just totally just like, oh, okay, you're my friend now,
Hence why Suge Knight came into your life.
But we're more alike than we are unlike.
Who in this world, with half of a brain, would ever, and I mean ever, let Suge Knight be your manager? Why would you ever want to be around a guy like that? First of all, he's scary as fuck. Second of all, he's been in so much goddamn trouble. Like, you literally were just asking to be put into a lot of trouble and get killed. Literally. Asking.
That's really weird.
Like, he already had a rap sheet before he arrived there. So that's how you know this all was written in stone. All of it.
So do you feel you're learning enough, or do you feel they could be doing a better job teaching you things?
Well, I hope I don't get in trouble, but
oh God. He's like, oh, I hope I don't get in trouble. So that he just said that. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble, right? What the?
I would have went the same way my mother went had not she did her route and showed me where it went wrong.
Does this sound like someone who's scared of getting in trouble, guys?
My mother always told me, don't you ever just volunteer yourself to our people, because they'll use you.
So now your mom's telling you what to do, but when it comes to punishment, she's asking you? Okay.
That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? She also told me to follow my heart and for me to be the leader.
But it's interesting to see just
because she always was.
In your face, your reaction, your thought process.
That's all I ever wanted to do. Ask my mama. I wanted to go to college. I went to school all the way and was ready to go to college. The only thing that stopped me was money. The time all the kids in my school was writing.
So in other words, you didn't have the grades.
To go to college, I didn't have no lights and no electricity, and that ain't my mama's fault. You know what I'm saying? So when
whose fault was it then? Yours?
Back to that, I'm not thugging for me. I'm thugging for my family. I pay all the.
So in other words, I'm not actually this person. I'm doing it to make the money so my family can survive. That's literally what he just said there. That's bitch babble. That's all he said.
Bills. You know what I'm saying? I feed my whole family. Wrong or
wrong?
Right.
Wrong or right? See? He just admitted it there, guys. I feed my family no matter what I have to do. Even if it means I have to put on a persona. That's what he just said. Need you any more? Evidence.
Can't stop. You know what I'm saying? If thugging is gonna make me
He
a million
can't
bucks,
stop. See?
because it just got me platinum, then that's what I got to do.
See? Guys, right there. He just said it right freaking there. He just said it right there, guys. He is doing this as an act. This isn't who he is. He's doing this for the money. He just said it, guys. Open your ears, man. They tell you what's up. They really do.
Constantly. And if it makes me feel, because right now, I feel satisfied. I don't feel like I've ever embarrassed myself or my people, you know, in nothing that I've done. And yet, no.
You don't feel like you've embarrassed your people in nothing you've done? Then you haven't really been watching the shit you're doing. Because literally, I can argue that about 80% of the shit you do embarrassed your people. If we take out, like, let's listen to this, guys. Hear me out. Take out all his music, right? And the movies. What do you have left? Have you ever asked yourself that, guys? Take away the music. Put that to the side. Put the movies, the music to the side. What do we have left? Ask yourself. Stop caring about the music. Yes, Juice was a good movie. Who cares? It's fake. It's a movie. Take that shit away. What do you have?
I got the whole world fearing me. You know what I'm saying? At 23.
And what is good about that?
Weighing 160 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Now he's talking about, I got the whole world fearing me, guys. Look at this. Look at this. He's got the whole world fearing him.
School, do you feel you're learning enough, or do you feel they could be doing a better job of teaching you things?
Well, I hope I don't get in trouble, but
Oh, well, I hope I don't get in trouble. Right? Oh, well, I hope I don't get in trouble.
world fear me. You know what I'm saying? At something I've done. And yet, no, I got the whole world fear me. You know what I'm saying? At 20.
You got the whole world fearing you at 23, but at 17.
Or do you feel they could be doing a better job of teaching you things?
Well, I hope I don't get in trouble, but school is, I think that we got so caught up in school being a tradition that we stopped using it as a learning tool, which it should be. Like, up to this day, I mean, school should be, I think there should be a different curriculum in each and every, like, neighborhood, you know? Because I'm going to Tampapi High, and I'm learning about the basics, but they're not basic for me, you know? And it's like, they're not, to get us ready for today's world, that's not helping. It's just what they took, so it's what we're going to.
No, high school, what he's talking is bullshit. High school will never prepare you for life. It's preparing you to be an employee, and then college further, refines that. That's all it is. You don't learn how to, like, run a business, how to manage money, how to set up retirement. You don't learn any of the stuff you actually need from school. It teaches you how to be an employee. That's it.
Gonna take, you know, and that's why the streets have taught me. And but school is really important, reading, writing, arithmetic. But I think after you learn reading, writing, and arithmetic,
Reading, writing, and arithmetic. No, reading and writing is important. Math and science. That's it.
that's it. But
Engineering goes within that too, as well. Science, engineering, math, science, like that all goes together. That's what matters. And reading and writing does matter.
what they tend to do is
Well,
teach you reading,
just
writing.
knowing how to do those things. Like, you don't have to know every single book that's been out there. You just have to know how to read and write. That's it.
Arithmetic, then teach you reading and writing and arithmetic again, then again, just making it
You
harder.
don't need
and harder,
arithmetic.
just so to keep you busy. And
Exactly.
that's where I think they
Arithmetic
messed up.
just
There should
keeps
be
you busy. That's it. You don't need that shit for life.
a class on drugs. It should be a class on sex education, a real sex education class, not just pictures and diaphragms and.
So what? You want them to just full blown have sex in the middle of class? High school? Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about?
Terms and things like that. There should be a drug class. There should be sex education. There should be a class on scams. There should be a class on religious cults. There should be a class on police brutality. There should be a class on apartheid. There should be
Yeah. So basically, a class on things that they don't really want us to know that you want us to know. Okay, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna finish up a little bit more. We'll do part 3 tomorrow.
23, weighing 160 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even started. I haven't even wrote my plan out yet. And they scared. I got the vice president know who I am, the president, every cop in every city. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't even started working out a plan.
Well, yeah, that's because you're a rebellious rapper who is outspoken and has spit on cops, shot cops, been on the news, apparently in trouble for raping people. Yeah, everyone knows you, and it's for the wrong reasons.
I have something to offer to business that hasn't been shown before. You know, I have a whole energy that represents not just black youth, but white youth, Mexican youth. You know what I'm saying? That change right before you go from being 18 and unresponsible to when you go to being like 21, 22, and the whole world's on your shoulders. I believe strongly that my audience empathize with me because I show that side. I show that emotion raw.
No, they empathize with you because they think that what you're rapping was what you were living, because a lot of people are living those situations. So that's why they empathize. They think that, oh, he's doing what I'm doing. Oh, he's doing what I'm thinking about doing. Oh, he's doing something I could do. That's all that's happening, guys. Because nothing he's rapping about was lived.
Uncut, good and bad. And so I think I can bring that more funnel, more directed into screenplays, more albums, producing, managing. You know what I'm saying? If I can figure out just how to control it, I can use it on a lot of different levels.
So in other words, you can't control yourself, is what he's saying?
Class on racism in America. It should be a class on why people are hungry, but they're not. Their classes on gym, you know, physical education.
Well, you need phys ed.
Because one day we're gonna, you know, it's
you need phys. Well, everyone needs to stay healthy. That's why phys ed's there.
Like algebra, where I've yet to go to a store.
Yeah, you don't need algebra. I agree with that.
Said, can I have X, Y plus 2 and give me my Y change back? Thank you. You know, I think you could let me out. I've lived alone by myself, and the things that helped me were the things that I learned from my mother and from the streets. And reading has helped me. I mean, school has taught me reading, which is I love. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's it. Like
That's
foreign
it?
Languages. I think they're important, but I don't think it should be required. Because actually they should be teaching you English and then teaching you how to understand double talk. Politicians double talk. Not teaching you how to understand French and
Yeah, but
Spanish.
most people don't even know what that means.
German. When am I going to Germany? I can't afford to pay my rent in America. How am I going to
Yeah,
Germany?
but that's more
You know,
projection. That's you. There's people out there that can go.
This is what I mean by the basics and not the basics for me. And I think that it should be like college. You can go and take the classes that you want. And I think that like
Yeah, but you're paying for college. High school is free, so if the government is paying that, they're gonna tell you what's what, and they're gonna tell you what they want out of you. That, and you understand what I'm saying? Public high schools is ran by the government, and the government has an initiative. They have something that, you know, a curriculum that they want their young ones to learn. So what the government wants to push on you will be pushed on you because they're funding everything. They make all the books. They make all the schools. They make everything. So yeah, unless you get homeschooled or you go to a private school where you can like actually know what they're going to teach you and who's running everything, you're stuck with it. There's nothing you can do. It's going on deaf ears, just arguing about it and being mad about it.
I trip off because it happens out of nothing. It just goes, you know, everybody just be screaming and acting, and I just trip. I get uncomfortable, and it's like.
So in other words, he really can't control himself. Like, this is not good right here. I would reject everything he's saying here.
It's like similar to a deer being caught in the headlights. I just freeze, you know, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should be what they want me to be, or if I should make them hate me so they can stop. You know, like say something mean so they can just stop. But I'm just like caught in the middle of it because you can't. I mean, no one can do that. Police can't do that. They can't stand in front of all those people and control them with a gun and mace and all that. So me with just words, it's like a battle to find the right words to say at the right time.
I'm curious when you think about the idea that you do have that kind of control over so many people, in one sense, the whole idea of being a role model comes up in the imagery. And a lot of people who know you, and I talked to them beforehand, suggested that, hey, you know, when you meet him, he's going to be something entirely different than you imagine and what the media is portraying him. What about that?
So he's going to be entirely different. Listen to that again, guys. And then he laughed afterwards. Listen to this, guys. He literally laughed after he said it.
Suggested that, hey, you know, when you meet him, he's going to be something entirely different than you imagine.
See, and he laughs because he knows he's acting. He puts on an act anywhere he goes. He feels out the room, almost like a chameleon, but on crack. He feels out a room and he realizes, oh, I got to be this. This is what I got to be. And that's what he does.
And what the media is portraying him. What about that idea that you have been portrayed? And sometimes, I mean, to be honest, you like the portrayal of you just hard.
That's
thug.
right. That's right.
Don't step on me.
That's right.
You're in trouble.
That's right.
Yet there's
It's
another
all
side.
fake. You see why he's smile. You see him smiling. It makes him feel good because it's all bullshit. None of that's true. It's just the persona. So he's gonna take it and run with it.
What about that idea that you've got to be able to figure out where you're going?
To me, it's like it is my sensitive side that that likes to blow up the hard side, because if my image or my reputation can stop a confrontation before it happens, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? I know how it is day to day. It's a constant man ego check going on in this street, in this world. So part of that is just like, you know, that's my resume. But as far
All right, let's finish up part 2 so we can get to part 3 next time.
school should be that way, where they give you the classes you should take for the basics, and then junior high school and high school should be the classes that you need.
I mean, that is what happens. It's just not the classes you want.
So do you feel like schools are not really listening to the kids' needs? Or the
Definitely
students'
not.
needs?
Definitely
It's
not.
just kind
It's
of
not
like
up to them to listen to what their needs. It's up to the government to make the kids do what the government needs. That's what you don't understand. That's what the government's doing. They're producing people for what the government needs, not for what the people need from the government.
just something you have to do.
It's just a place you go during the day to keep you busy while they're at work.
That's true too. That is true as well. It's a place to drop off your kids while the government outworks the parents, you know? The government's like, so how are we going to allow these parents to make the money for us and run the country, but have kids at the same time? Oh, let's create these buildings where they can drop them off from the work hours of the day, and we'll create a curriculum to have them have a reason to be there for 8-9 hours a day. Yeah, sounds like something we've all been through.
Right, that's exactly what it is.
There's none of you watching this video that can tell me honestly that high school has done anything positive for your life. Like, there's really nothing. None of you can tell me that if you didn't go to high school, you wouldn't be where you are today. Like, I know I would without high school.
Work now? You know, get like regular job, or do you?
Yeah, I've actually been working.
I'll even say this: college didn't really do much for me either. I mean, the most college taught me was how to live alone, and I was already doing that before college, so it was just more practice of that.
Like, I've been going to school during the day, then I work 8 hours at the pizza place, then go home.
It's more complaining about working. You're doing what a man should do. I was working all the time during college. In high school, I always worked. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to work.
As far as the media, they look at it as something different. They don't care about my resume. They don't care about me not getting in trouble. It's just another story, you know. And it's a real story.
That's how it works.
For it, and they're gonna milk it for all it's worth. As far as people, they want me when they first see me to humble myself. They want me to be like this and just because they're scared of me. But I don't feel like that's.
But you made it that way. You made them scared of you. Spitting on. They don't want to get spit on. They don't want to get yelled at. They don't want to get chastised. Do you not understand that you're the cause of this? He's like, woe was me. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, you're not innocent, Tupac. I'm sorry to tell you. You haven't been this angel walking earth. You're not exactly Jesus.
My job to humble myself to show you that I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat unless you're a threat to me.
You're not a threat to your mom, maybe, but you're a threat to others. You're a threat to the government, and you're a threat to yourself, as we saw.
You know what I'm saying? So when people say, when you meet Pop, he's different than he is, because when somebody one-on-one, anybody one-on-one, I believe, honestly, that I can talk. I believe that I have the ability to reason. I have logic. I have compassion. I have understanding.
But when it's more than one person, that's when he loses himself. So how is that a man that you can follow if he can't be in front of more than one people and conduct himself properly? Oh, it only has to be one person, then I can do it.
There's no problems. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what happens. People
Bullshit.
what they heard in the media, and that's how they come at me. And then, you know, we got to clash.
One of the things that you read
Bullshit.
in the media is that you're angry, that you personify your generation,
See, what did I just say, guys? He personifies his generation to be angry.
that you just got some angry folks out there, and you're one of them.
And he fuels them. He puts batteries in those people's backs. And I've been saying it the whole time. It's so funny that this guy just said that. I've been saying it.
I'll put it to you. Are you angry? Are you angry
Yes.
with what you see society?
If he says no, I'm going to be ready to say stop the cap. He better not say no here.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm extremely angry, confused. You know, a lot of the times that I sat up in court, I couldn't defend myself. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like the things they were saying about me were beyond my comprehension, or the things that I could say weren't going to help my case. But because it's like being exiled, you know, from society, and that's how I feel.
That's what jail
And
is.
this whole the anger.
What do you
comes
think
from,
jail is? Jail is them exiling you from society. Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
I'm tired of waiting for my past to get into society. All I ever wanted to do was make me and everybody around me feel more comfortable about where we were. You know?
So spitting on people, screaming, yelling thug life, walking like a freaking ostrich. How's that doing what you just said?
I'm saying about
How does that make anyone feel safe?
the places that we stay. This is our home base. Let's build it up. Let's be happy about where we come from. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we'll stop there with that. I just want to make sure we're at a good spot here.
And isn't it like 40-hour week? That's what adults work, right? And that's all.
I mean, 40 hours a week these days ain't getting you too far.
I'm working 40 hours a week. I'm still not getting the respect that adults get, you know. But
Well, that's because we see the way he acts. He said he can't be in front of more than one person and act like an adult.
I don't
With
wanna
reason.
keep sounding like I'm worried about respect and fame and all of that. I'm just
You're
saying
not?
that-
Wait, what?
I don't want to keep sounding like I'm worried about respect and fame and.
Guys, stop the cap. That's all he wanted.
Stop the cap.
He literally just said in the other clip he will do anything it takes to feed his family, including acting and putting on a persona.
All of that. I'm just saying that. I mean, ancient civilizations have survived without going to schools like this. I mean, they've learned from.
Yeah, and they're third world countries and behind the U.S. for a reason. You know, because the system we do financially works for the most part. Obviously, we have a lot of issues. Nothing's perfect, obviously, but financially, there's a reason we're at the top. But guys, we're going to leave it off here, and we'll finish this off tomorrow or the next day. But thanks for watching. And then after this, I was thinking about doing a breakdown of that Kyle Rittenhouse. It was a shooting that happened. He ended up killing 2 people, and yeah, I don't want to say too much, but we're going to break that whole thing down after we finish this, though, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 3, and stay safe.